You're listening to Nothing Important.
I'm going to say barbecue chicken from Trader Joe's.
You've done your research.
It might
Congratulations.
be. I forgot. All right, we're already off the rails.
Please thin crust.
Yeah. Let
Yes.
me Google it real quick.
Please enjoy the show.
That's good. That works.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nothing Important Podcast. Insert witty tagline here. My name is Brian, and with me, as always, is Dave on the couch. Dave, how's it going?
What month is this?
And on the third mic, as always, is Jeff in an office. Jeff, howdy.
I am getting paid to do this. Just not by us.
Jeff, Dave, and I also host It's All Good, Man, the Better Call Saul podcast, where we talk about everything Better Call Saul. So check that out at itsallgoodman.com. And coming soon, or maybe even possibly out as you hear this, Jeff and I host A Plumbus Among Us, the Rickest Rick and Morty podcast. You can find that at nothingimportantpodcast.com. Just look for the link, or on Twitter at A Plumbus Among Us, spelt exactly how it sounds. Gentlemen, it's good to talk to you. We are waiting on the line for Patricia Summersett. Patricia is the voice of Zelda in Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. So I'm pretty excited to chat with her.
Isn't Zelda a dude?
Wow.
Oh,
No,
Link's
Dave.
the dude.
Yes.
Link's the dude. So I was up all night editing the Nothing Important podcast.
So, gentlemen, you might not know this about me, so I hope you're sitting down.
There's nothing I
but I'm
don't know
white.
about you.
I'm white.
Oh, really?
I know that might
What?
come as a shocker, but as a white guy, my dancing skills are subpar, to say the least. I'll break it down every once in a while, but being pale face, there's very few of us who have actual legitimate dancing skill.
I don't know, man. I think you dance pretty well for anybody, honestly.
I don't know about all that, but it's definitely not in our, I guess. I don't know. It's just not a skill I feel I really possess, and therefore it's probably one of the 10,000 reasons I hate going to clubs. Right. So, but recently, a couple Sundays ago, my wife and I took our daughters to the bowling alley early Sunday morning. And it's kind of cool because when kids are that little, they have like this little ramp shaped like dinosaur, and you can push the ball down, and you can like pull up the bumpers, and it bounces on and off. And so that way they don't gutter ball and get completely discouraged. My oldest daughter, Penelope, carries her little, 6-pound ball over, puts it on the dinosaur, pushes it down the back. The ball rolls down the alley, and she gets a strike. And without any prompting, she turns around, throws her hands in the air, and is like, woo! Starts screaming, and then instantly starts dancing.
Nice.
Like that super awesome, like awkward 5-year-old dance where it's just like limbs everywhere.
Like
I'd
Corey
say that's a
Feldman
pretty
in an
appropriate
80s
reaction
movie.
to that, though.
You would almost think she was having a seizure. So, and of course it's cute. So I'm watching, I'm like, oh, that's really cute. And then you look down the alley, and they're sparsely populated because the bowling alley just opened. And then I see like 4 or 5 other people dancing, and I had the thought, is there anywhere on earth that white people feel more confident dancing than at a bowling alley?
Wedding receptions.
Oh,
Yep, that's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
That's right. the hokey pokey. It's still weird to me that people do the hokey pokey at wedding
Chicken
receptions.
dance.
Yeah, the chicken dance. Okay,
I have been to very, very, very many wedding receptions, and I haven't heard the hokey pokey. I don't think ever, and the chicken
then
dance
you must
in probably
be going
like
to shitty wedding
5
receptions.
years.
I mean, you are.
Or they're super awesome because it's not there.
You're quite far south of 80, so I would expect that to happen a lot because I've been to many receptions myself, and it happens over half of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a
It's a
Wilmington.
staple.
Well, maybe that's because I am so far south of 80 that we are more refined or cultured.
Well, you're almost in square dancing territory.
Well, I think we're in a pocket.
You heard it here
We've
first.
got our own little pocket here.
You heard it here first. The hokey pokey is assigned to social status. Which that's probably legitimately a sentence that nobody has ever said before. My wife, she does a lot of weddings for the course of her work, and she always comes home with the horror stories. And as somebody who used to run hotels, obviously I had to deal with a bunch of brides. And what always cracks me up about weddings is it's obviously for the bride. Like most grooms don't give a shit about the wedding. Like I told my wife, I'm like, just tell me where to be. Like I don't care about flower color. I don't give a shit what kind of shoes you're wearing. I don't care who you invite. Just tell me where to be, and I'll be there.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But dealing with the people like the mother-in-laws and the bridesmaids and such, it's amazing how they always think that the wedding is about them and want to put their face forward.
Right. Yeah.
As if they're the only people to ever have been in a wedding.
This may be my only time as a maid of honor.
Right.
You know.
you need great friends. You need better friends or more
Right.
friends.
That's really what the problem is people just know that their social circle has dwindled so much that this is the only chance they're going to have to seem to be mildly popular, maybe.
Like when I worked hotels, it wasn't uncommon for me to be, because what would happen is we would have 4 or 5 weddings show up at once, and then they would all start like competing with each other for dumb things. Like I would have several women come up to me at the same time and be like, "Excuse me, I'm the mother of the bride, and I was just wondering if you could upgrade us to a larger suite." No.
Nope.
No, not at all. Because first off, you're just the mother of the bride. Like, just because the bride fell out of your vagina doesn't mean that you get any special perks.
I was going to say, congratulations on pooping out a kid that somebody wants to spend the rest of their life with.
Right.
Exactly. And what would happen at my hotel, there would only be like a finite number of bridal suites, like maybe 2 or 3, right? So
Right.
when the 4th and 5th bride shows up for her special day that she's sharing with at least 4 or 5 other brides at my hotel alone, and starts making demand, because I've had women say, "Well, how much would it cost for you to move us to the bridal suite?" You can't do that. Oh, hold on. I actually think Patricia is on the phone. Hold on one moment.
A fireplace and a guitar.
Your place has a staircase and it's where you are.
Your place has a window onto the park.
Your place has the doorknob that glows in the dark.
Your place has a cactus next to the bed.
Your place has the books that I've never read.
I'm coming over.
No, I'm coming over.
I'm coming over.
I'm coming over.
Your place has the curtain that bathes us in blue.
Your place has those paintings you made in grade 2.
Your place has the cat that purrs in the night.
Your place has the neighbor who brings us his wine.
Your place has the clocks that do not tell
Your
time.
place is always so much warmer than mine.
I'm coming over.
No, I'm coming over.
I'm coming over. Just a little ocean between us. Oh, the world is small. I could be in London by breakfast.
flight to
I'll call when I'm down.
call from the cat.
I'll call from the corner.
Call when I'm warmer.
I wish I was over.
I wish I was over.
I wish I was over.
Wish I was over. Your
Over.
place has the roof that hums in the rain.
Your place has the mugs we stole from the bar. Your place has a fireplace and a guitar. I wish I was over. I wish I was over. And I wish I was over. I wish I was over. I wish I was over you.
All right, Jeff and Dave, Patricia Summersett is on the Someone Important hotline. Patricia, welcome to the show.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hi, Patricia. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming on. Forgive our little nonsense. We were talking about what would happen if your doctor had a Southern accent and how comfortable you would be.
Yes.
A southern accent?
Yeah, like we're going to
Yes.
have to amputate that leg.
For some reason, I thought you guys were going to be talking about weddings and
Yeah, I gave him.
about amputations. I feel like
Yeah.
you combined. Like,
They must have changed the topic as I was prepping you. But before we get into any of our nonsense, it's awesome to have you here. You voiced Princess Zelda in Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and super excited to talk to you about that. Congratulations on the success of that game.
thank you very much. Yeah, it's been quite the ride.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to record all your lines? Like, when did production and your recording sessions start?
They started about a year ago, and they were intermittent throughout a period of several months, like I guess about 9 months roughly, from beginning to end.
Gotcha. And was there a lot of pressure voicing a character that's been around for the better part of 30 years, but has had almost no voice?
Yeah, there was a bit of pressure involved in that, but it was also, I mean, it was a pretty exciting time, pretty amazing thing to be involved in all the way through, and everybody was very supportive. So it was mostly excitement and magic. And yeah, definitely, I felt the immensity of what it was as it was happening. As far as voice gigs go, it's kind of like a, it feels a bit like a jackpot gig. You're like, wow, how did that happen to me? That's amazing. And then you just kind of sit with it and record it and hope for the best, really. Just do what you can.
Well, the game has been very, very well received. It's considered already one of the greatest games of all time. Tell us about the audition process. How did you actually come to be Princess Zelda?
How did I become to be? Well, I grew up.
I sounded professional. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? That's it.
I was listening to one of your podcasts the other day with Bob Odenkirk. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, you guys have Bob on, and you asked him about pizza. So, yeah. So how did I become Princess Zelda?
Now we can't ask you about pizza because now you're already prepped for it.
I'm not even prepped. I prepped nothing except for my professional work.
So let me ask you this: what do you think Bob Odenkirk's favorite frozen pizza is?
What do I think his favorite frozen pizza is? I'm going to say barbecue chicken from Trader Joe's.
You've done your research.
It might
Congratulations.
be. I forgot. All right, we're already off the rails.
Please thin crust.
Yeah. Let me Google it real quick.
All right, we're already off the rails. So you're Princess Zelda. How?
How? So I actually, it happened when I was, I just made the move to LA and had been doing a lot of my work from Canada. And I sent out my package to casting directors, and from there got an audition for something that I didn't know what it was, basic descriptions, and I prepped it, got a callback for it, went into the callback, and then weeks after that discovered what the role was pretty much around the time we were going to begin to record it.
What was? Are you a big Zelda fan? Are you a big Nintendo fan? Or you're just kind of getting into it because of now your place in Nintendo history? Or have you been familiar with the series?
Right. I do have a history with Nintendo. It was the console that I grew up with in my house. That was great. I did actually play the original. I had played Ocarina of Time in high school. It wasn't like my lifelong goal to make it through all the Zelda games. I'm now kind of revisiting them. I've revisited Twilight Princess, and obviously I have my own Switch and sort of dabbling with Breath of the Wild. Mario Brothers was what I used to play a lot when I was younger. It's a huge honor. I certainly, when I figured out what the role was, I was flabbergasted.
Wow, that's awesome. Follow-up question. Follow-up question. Better game, NHL or Double Dribble?
Oh my gosh. Well, being that I've played both hockey and basketball in my life, so that's a hard one. Like all the sports.
You were a figure skater for a while, isn't that right?
I was for quite a long time, actually.
You had your time shredding on the ice?
Shredding, yeah, I shredded. I fell a lot.
All right, Dave.
Well, I was just saying, I think that ice hockey holds more to the realistic action of the sport, as where Double Dribble is more cartoony and abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Am I supposed to decide which one I like? Abstract?
No, I'm the color analyst. I just drop in comments that don't need to be responded to.
So, Patricia, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you regretting coming on our podcast now?
Oh, so much. I just, this is so much fun. You guys can ask me anything.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Now, I think Nintendo's like Disney in a lot of ways. Like Charles Martinet has been the voice of Mario for, going on decades. Decades now, and Disney, once you voice one of their characters, you kind of do it into perpetuity. Do you think, is that a similar situation you're in? Do you think, because Zelda's kind of an odd character where like the next Zelda won't necessarily be the Zelda that you portray?
It's true. And, I just, I have so little information about how that all plays out. And because of that reason, I just feel I've been given this incredible gift, and I'm going to be traveling with it and meeting people with it, and I'm just enjoying it for what I have right now, and whatever happens in the future, that's totally up to Nintendo, and I just thank them for being here now, because it's just an incredible thing to be part of this game right now. With Breath of the Wild released, I couldn't have foreseen how sort of epic the game itself was going to be, and just how vast the world was. Thousands of artists involved in the game itself. So I'm just like a little piece on the top, and I'm appreciating that,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Before we got you on the phone, we were talking about how terrible bridesmaids and mother of the brides are. If you've been in a wedding, like your opinion on who are typically the worst people to be around during a wedding, the mother of the bride or the bridesmaid?
I've watched some pretty amazing mother-in-laws. I once attended this wedding at Disney World, and it was one of those things where like the fireworks go off in the background right when they say "I do," and it's like this sort of magical princess wedding several years ago. So this isn't any time recently, and they had a horrible ending to the marriage, which is very sad. But the mother-in-law, she was a bit of a tyrant. And she was breaking down all over the place and crying because the flowers weren't right. And I just thought, man, weddings should not be this stressful for anybody. What happened to Magic
All right then.
Disney World?
Hey, look, all right.
So
Right, especially at
That's just
Disney
maybe
World.
this
if it's
area.
at Disney World, there has to be a wicked stepmother involved, right?
Well, maybe that's
There
what
we go.
happened. Maybe she just was injected with some magical
Beans.
Disney power that was the wrong Disney power. Anyway,
Well,
it's incredible. I would go mother-in-law.
Okay, perfect. And Patricia, before we go, we typically ask about frozen pizza, but I'll ask you this very important question that we were also debating, just to keep with the idea of weddings. Have you ever been to a wedding and they've done the hokey pokey?
Or the chicken dance.
Oh, yeah. I come from Upper Michigan, so these sorts of awesome songs that make their ways into weddings, they're just like the background of my youth going to weddings is like in a place called the Whirligig where you bowl slow, and then on the upper floor, everybody dances to loads of classic rock and shakes on the floor and does the whole roly-poly thing, kind of out in the woods. So, yeah, I've been to weddings with hokey pokeys.
What's up, Jeff?
Cool.
Jeff was pretending that didn't exist.
It's a northern
Sorry,
thing. It's a northern thing. We'll just say that.
There we go.
Absolutely. Well, Patricia, thank you so much for coming on the Nothing Important podcast. I'm sorry it got so chaotic, but I really enjoy your work in The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and I hope you have many opportunities coming forward to portray Princess Zelda. And do you have anything
Sounds
in
cool.
the line, anything coming up, anything that you'd like to promote, social media, website, and such? This is your time to do it now.
Is this my time to shine?
This is it, except for in Kuwait.
I've got a couple of games coming up and a couple of films coming out this year and some music that I'm involved in. So I'll be sharing that on my social media, which Twitter and Instagram is at Summersett_. I can be found there. And I also share a lot of fan art because there are so many talented artists that share fan art with me. It's amazing. So yeah, you can find me there. Join me if you'd like.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Patricia Summersett, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Ooh, I just did a virtual bow.
Patricia Summersett, way cool. Hopefully she sends us some of her music, and hopefully we get to chat with her again. She seemed very well humored, and I love that she listened to our chat with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. I almost want to invite her to do a song with us.
Yeah. We could record over the phone, and then we can all talk over each other again while she's singing. That'd be great.
I think it's just what she's looking for.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me today on the Nothing Important podcast. Please make sure to check out our other podcasts. It's Saul Goodman, the Better Call Saul podcast at itssaulgoodman.com. Doing phenomenal right now. Lots of crowd interaction. If you watch Better Call Saul, please check it out. We're also going to record our preview show here probably within the next couple days called Preview with the Prior. We got all sorts of good comments from people this week through various sources, which is absolutely amazing. Check out Jeff and I's Rick and Morty podcast called A Plumbus Among Us. You can find the link to that at nothingimportantpodcast.com or at Twitter at A Plumbus Among Us, spelled just how it sounds. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick before we sign off, it was funny when I was waiting for, because when we talk to celebrities, or, like people of note that have agents, a lot of times their agent calls me and then I have to wait for their agent to patch them in, and then they get repatched to us and I patch them into you guys.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the video of you, Dave, on the couch while I was waiting, but it was really minimalized, so I couldn't see in too much detail what you were doing. But the way that you drug off your cigarette while laying on the couch, it reminded me of like one of those 1930s scenes where like the detective walks into the room and the lady's like lounging on the couch smoking a cigarette like this. And I just started dying laughing because I was like, man, that guy is really enjoying that cigarette. And with that, Dave, you can stop recording.
Be sure to follow Nothing Important online at nothingimportantpodcast.com. Find us on iTunes, on Twitter at NotImportantPC, and you can also find us on Facebook. Nothing Important is recorded with help from Third City Sound in Joliet, Illinois. Thanks for being awesome.